So we're now going to transition into our keynote speaker of the day. It's a huge pleasure to introduce Her Royal Highness Queen Diambi of Congo. She has a much longer title than that. And I'm sure you'll share the background of your position and why you speak with such huge authority, being a traditional king-queen of more than 90 million people across the Congo, and a queen mother into the diaspora that she represents in Brazil. So there's a huge population who look up to our keynote speaker. And having recently had the privilege of spending some time with her, she is such a strong advocate of the environment, and in particular, it turns out, the problems that plastic pollution is causing in the territories that she represents. So, huge honour. We're going to start with, if I may, with a video, which I think just gives some visual images for the authority with which the Queen...
What you often hear me say is that Africa is gorgeous, Africa is beautiful. And this is truly my belief. However, in urban centers, there are so many problems that we have to handle that we cannot handle properly. One of the things that we have very hard problems with is plastic and waste management in general. And a lot of the waste management, since we don't have infrastructure to do so, then the waste is really literally thrown into the waterways of the country. And this is like how a river looks like. When I was a child, I used to actually bathe in those waters. I used to play in those rivers in Kinshasa. So we are looking for good people who have ideas of how we can clean this, because these waters are the waters, very sacred waters of the Congo Basin. Greetings, everyone. It's such a joy and an honor to be here with all of you today. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Sabien, the team of Sabien, and all of you, wonderful and honorable guests here to see, and heed the call that I ask for good people who understand the importance of being together to solve some very fundamental problems about what we're doing, what we're causing, the problems we're causing to our planet. So I am Queen Diambi Kabatuswila Chiyomwata. I am Mukalenga Mukaji wa Nkashama, Wabakwalintu, Wabaluba, Wakasai wa Congo. So that's my name and title. So Diambi meaning the bearer of good news, and Mukalenga Mukaji wa Nkashama meaning the woman king of the Order of the Leopard. So I'm a woman king. I sit on the throne of one of the most ancient order that exists on the planet, which is basically a house of wisdom. I am also Grande Mai do Povo Bantu Brasileiro, and this is where we have over 100 million people in Brazil who are from African origin, and I am now the traditional queen, as well as Reina de los Congo de Panama. So I just reconnected with the community of Congo descendants of Panama, and they also decided that I should wear the crown to represent them around the world. So as you saw, I grew up in Kinshasa. And water is such an important element because Congo Basin is really huge in terms of a riverine system. The second largest and most powerful river is the Congo River. Oftentimes we hear about the Amazon, and it's amazing, but Amazon is sister to Congo River. And we have a very complex riverine system that irrigate the entire center of Africa and the entire rainforest of Africa that is a primary forest of this planet. So the waterways of the Congo are extremely important and extremely sacred. Most people don't know that in the world, we actually have only 3 water reserve, fresh water reserve. We only have 3 of them. We have the Amazon, that is in Brazil. we have Russia, and we have Congo. So eventually, when the issue of water comes, to our front door, we're going to realize that the water we will be drinking for the generations to come will come from the Congo as well. So if we look at the Congo and we say, this is not our problem, this is the problem of the Congo, let them deal with this issue. Well, where do you think all this plastic is going once the heavy rains come? The heavy rain will brush all of this into the oceans as well. But before they get to the ocean, they would have left behind all kinds of elements, chemical elements of the plastic that are toxic to the life of the river. So they destroy the ecosystem, they destroy the biodiversity. But it's not just there. They also go into the food we eat. We import a lot of food from Africa. We import and we process the food, but its origin is from Africa. So a lot of this pollution that you see, and of course here we're going to focus on the plastic, but there is other pollution in it. Biological waste, chemical waste, everything is thrown there because unfortunately the governance has failed yet to provide a structured and well-functioning waste management system. So beyond just dealing with the plastic, we will be looking for partners who are willing to engage into, proposing solutions for waste management in general, and plastic being one of the paramount issues we're dealing with. But these waters, I call them sacred, because we, with all our intellect and the Western paradigm, we have forgotten really that this planet that we call Earth is really a drop of water floating across the universe. It's not just a drop of water as we look at water as an element, but water is alive. Water is a being. Water has intelligence. In my tradition, water has a spirit, water has a soul. And as the scientists are starting now to get interested in the water, they're starting to go back to the ancient sciences and realize that we were right all along. When we were doing water reverence, when we were speaking to the rivers, when we were sitting by the sea to get knowledge. Because see, in every single drop of water, there is information. So water is an information bank about our system, about how we started everything, from the origin of us being here, of this element being manifested in this way. So water has still a lot to teach us, but only if we know how to treat her right. Only if we go back to the source of who we are, because after all, we are water too. So the water that we are resonate with every single water system on the planet. And if we are dealing with a lot of mental health conditions, we are dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety, well, look no further. If I go into your water system, your entire system is off balance, and your own water can reveal those information. So we are mirroring in our system what is going on the planet. We have to be conscious that nature and the elements of nature are not just things that we can use to exploit and to use it our own benefit and for our own enjoyment. They are actually primary component of our existence. So when we care for the water, when we want to look for a solution for the water, we are looking for a solution for us to sustain our lives. I hear oftentimes talks about sustainability, and I will be speaking at COP27 in a few weeks in Egypt. And we talk about sustainability as we have to have practice so that we can sustain our planet. We can make sure our planet is okay. We can not destroy the environment. Well, not quite sure this has to be our ultimate goal. the planet will be okay. We can even shave it all off, dry every single river, cut every single tree. The planet will be a planet. Maybe like a different planet, but there are many planets out there that are just a rock. And they're fine. It could just be another state of her development, her deploying herself as a rock and desert planet. So the sustainability is not really about the planet. The sustainability is about life on the planet. It's about our life. So being mindful of that, being mindful that it's a water planet. And if any one of you works with water, you know that if I take a glass of water and I put some ink in one corner of the glass, well, any drop I take out of that glass will contain elements of that ink. Meaning that there is nothing you can do over there that is not going to affect over here. So the mentality of thinking, oh, that's their problem, has to go. So when I talk about globalization, I'm not talking of globalization in terms of economic pursuit to find out how far I can go to reach and plunder resources and to just, have predatory attitudes toward the earth and just excavating what I need so that I can consume it on another side of the planet. My globalization is about rising our consciousness to realize that this whole system is our collective system. And it's our collective responsibility to take care of it wherever we can intervene, wherever we have the ability to act. We have to be agents to stand up for what is right, no matter where it is, no matter if it's with people that look like us or believe the things we do or eat like us or live like us, it does not matter. See, my people, the Bakwaluntu people of Kasai, they live in pristine environment. They live in the forest. Pristine, has not been destroyed yet. Pristine. The trees, the animals, the dirt is red, is beautiful. There is no plastic. There is no electricity. There's no running water. There is none of the benchmark of what we call development. But yet, they have everything we call sustainable. So when we speak about sustainability, shouldn't we include in the conversations those who are the masters of sustainability? Not looking down upon them as, oh, the underdeveloped, oh, the emerging, but yet understand that they hold information and they hold standards that we may need to get inspired with so that we can revise and we can revisit the choices we have made for our own technological, economical, and social development. So what I'm saying here in front of you as a traditional queen of my people in this really big institution right across from one of the most influential institutions on the planet that is at the origin of this whole system, is that I'm not here to put anyone on stand and say, wow, you did it wrong. Because you know what, truthfully is, whatever they did with the information they had, they just thought they were doing it right. But now that we know, now that we have the perspective that we have to get off our pedestal and we have to lose our arrogance of thinking that sole our intellect that is driving our interest will be that we have to follow to come with sound governance. We have to learn to become more inclusive. And that's not just in terms of color and race, and in terms of world view, in terms of understanding of how we live on this planet. There are indeed alternative ways to live. And when I hear in these big institutional instances that they're looking at my people and say, we're going to come develop you, just wait. I say to myself, oh no, not again. Every time you have an idea, we pay for it. From the beginning of the venture for, the expansion of capitalism, my people, the African people, were first online to pay the bill. With the human trafficking that took on place for several centuries, not just from my European family, but also from the Arab world, where they just went to Africa and just picked up people and used them as human resources, with, of course, not paying them the right salary. And once that period was over, then it became the resources we had on the ground. And it goes on and on and on and on. And you saw the pictures. I said, when I grew up, I used to bathe in those water. Why? We did not have plastic then. We were underdeveloped. Because, see, to get water, you needed to go knock at someone's house. When you were walking the street and you kind of were hot, it's 30-something degrees. You would stop and you would say, hey, Mama Gando, can I have some water? They would go fetch a cup. They would give you the water with a chair. You would drink your water, put the cup down, and then off you go. And you may never see these people again in your life. But water was a fundamental gift that anyone had a right to. And somebody came and told us, oh, we have a good news. We're going to develop you now. We're going to give you bottles with water so you don't have to go and knock at anybody's door anymore to ask for water. And they did. They brought the plastic bottles, and now here we are. So development might all seem so smart, but may not always be that wise. So in all we do, I want us to understand that we have to tap into our own culture, and we have to bring the faces of our ancestors. Because see, they may have not looked all techie, but they knew a thing or two about how to sustain life. And we have to go to those people like the indigenous people of the world who are sitting on 80% of the biodiversity of this planet and bring them around the table. They may not have come from Oxford. They may not have come from Harvard or from some prestigious school in Korea or Japan or Russia. But the school they came from is the school of life. And nature is indeed the best teacher. And if we have this knowledge, it's because we've been around for 400,000 years, listening to nature, listening to water, listening to the trees, listening to the elements, and understanding that there are laws that governs this reality. And if you do anything without incorporating and respecting those laws, the only thing you create is chaos. And then now you have to run and mitigate for the catastrophe that is ahead. So I'm so grateful and thankful to be here today, because I see people in front of me from all over the world coming together to find solutions that we can apply together. And I hope that with your work, we can resolve at least this problem, but furthermore, we can work together on not creating other problems for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I have heard you speak now several times, and it is never anything less than inspiring. Again, thank you.